which frees up your teams to focus on, actually innovating.
Makes sense. But then there's the challenge that Sean Norris brought up.
Yeah.
From Standard Chartered Bank, right?
Yeah.
How do you even implement a Kubernetes strategy when everything's changing so fast?
Valid question. It's like trying to hit a moving target. And it highlights the need to be flexible, adaptable, comfortable with constant learning, because it's not slowing down.
All right, so we've got challenges, we've got tools, but how do we know if any of this is actually working? What should we be measuring?
Anders Wahlgren from Electric Cloud, he had a great framework for this. First off, ditch the vanity metrics.
The ones that sound impressive but don't mean anything.
Exactly. Focus on things that are measurable and actionable. Things you can track, use to drive improvement.
So things that tell a story.
And make sure those metrics are communicating the right information to everyone. From the CEO to the people on the ground, everyone needs to be on the same page.
And don't be afraid to change those metrics as you go, right?
Absolutely. Transformation is a process. Your measurement needs to reflect that.
So we've covered a lot of ground. Why transformation matters, the human side of it, scaling up, the tech, what's on the horizon, what should leaders be watching out for.
The DOE Science Board report really stressed AI and machine learning and how these technologies are going to change how we think about software sustainment. Big time.
That's a whole other deep dive right there.
Oh, for sure. And we're also seeing companies wrestle with making finance more agile.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It is, but it's going to impact how companies plan and budget.
Lot to think about. Before we jump to part 2, one question for everyone listening. What's one small thing you can do today to start moving things in the right direction? Doesn't have to be huge. Could be a conversation, reading an article, just something to get you moving.
Remember, transformation is a journey. It's about continuous improvement, adapting as you go. Embrace the challenge, stay curious, and never stop learning. We'll be right back to dig into some more specific examples and actionable takeaways after a quick break. Thinking about small steps, Chris Corrier had this great analogy, the 7 horses of abductive reasoning.
Oh yeah, that one was good.
It's a really powerful way to think about transformation, like how to approach problems from different angles, how to handle those inevitable ups and downs.
Almost like a Zen approach to change.
Exactly. Sometimes what seems like a setback actually opens up a new opportunity. It's all about staying flexible. And of course, we can't forget the people side of things.
Right. As organizations change, their people have to change too.
Got to keep up. The DoD Science Board report was really big on this. Investing in people, upskilling, reskilling.
Make sure everyone's got the tools to keep learning.
Yep. Technical skills, sure, but also that culture of learning, collaboration, being able to adapt.
Like those team safaris they were talking about at Lockheed Martin.
Oh, yeah. Sending teams to visit other companies, see how they do things. Brilliant way to break down silos, get those creative juices flowing.
And we saw that same idea pop up at Standard Chartered Bank and nationwide too. Building communities of practice.
Connecting people, sharing knowledge, making everyone feel like they're part of something bigger. But let's be real, transforming a huge company.
It's like trying to turn a battleship.
Exactly. Slow, complex, a little scary, honestly.
That's where leadership comes in. We saw some amazing examples in our sources. Nationwide, Standard Chartered Bank, Verizon, they all had strong executive sponsorship.
Pushing things forward. And you know what they say? Culture eats strategy for breakfast.
So true. You can have the best plan in the world, but without the right culture, the right leadership.
It's going nowhere. But it's not just about top-down orders.
No, it's about empowering those teams, letting them experiment, take ownership, drive change from the ground up.
Creating that psychological safety, where people feel comfortable taking risks, sharing ideas, even failing sometimes. Because sometimes failing is how you learn the most.
Like those hack days they do at Nationwide. Seems like a small thing, but...
Huge impact. Give people the space to play, to try new things. You never know what they'll come up with.
All right, back to tech for a minute. Cloud platforms, automation, microservices. Seems like these were all the rage at the summit.
Definitely key players in transformation. But like we said before, it's not just about having the tech, it's about using it right.
Solving actual business problems.
And that brings us back to Sean Norris's question, remember, from Standard Chartered, about Kubernetes and how to manage it when the landscape is changing so fast.
All right, the moving target problem.
Highlights the need to invest in your people.
Yeah.
Make sure their skills are evolving alongside the technology. It's a constant dance.
Speaking of constant, one of the biggest headaches for large companies, migrating from those old legacy systems.
Ah, yes. The legacy challenge.
Saw some interesting approaches to this. Nationwide,